The views and opinions expressed in this show do not represent those of Cal State Fullerton, the College of Health and Human Development, or the Kinesiology program.
Ready, aim, fire.
Welcome to Kinesiology 101, the podcast for kinesiology majors by kinesiology majors. Every week we bring you a new and exciting guest with tons of knowledge and experience both in and outside of the classroom here at Cal State Fullerton.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. It's official! Welcome to Kinesiology 101, podcast for kinesiology majors
By kinesiology majors. We are your host. My name is Luis Geronimo.
My name is Jose Juarez. Welcome to the show. It's official. This is the introduction episode
001.
for what's to come with this podcast. It's official, dude. I don't believe it.
I know, right? Finally, we've been talking about it for so long, and it's actually.
So last summer, Luis and I, we had a workout together, and then we had a moment. The endorphins were kicking. We had
the adrenaline rush was pumping.
We had this light bulb just flicker and go off and say, "Hey, you guys should do a podcast before you graduate."
Mm-hmm.
So both of us are seniors. We're graduating, walking this May. But this podcast was just an idea at first. We started talking to people about it, getting some feedback. We continued, rehearsing some ideas, seeing what we could do, and yeah, it's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah,
this thing
definitely.
is going to blow up.
Definitely.
So,
it's just the beginning.
So let's get to know, I guess for you guys, let's get to know who we are. Luis, tell the viewers, listeners about yourself.
Okay, so again, my name is Luis Geronimo. I'm a kinesiology major with an emphasis in pre-athletic health and strength and conditioning. A little bit about me. I was born and raised here in SoCal. I went to school in Norwalk High, played soccer my whole life. Went to East LA College, played soccer there, ruptured my rectus femoris. I couldn't play anymore. I came to Cal State Fullerton as a kines major. Actually, sorry, take that back. Undeclared for the first 2 years, not knowing what I'm going to do. I knew I loved sports. I wanted to get some kind of career in this whole environment. So that's when I declared as a kines major. I've been here ever since. I love everything about it. Right now I'm in the track of doing physical therapy. Graduate this May, apply this fall, hopefully get accepted to start next year. So that's in a nutshell a little bit about me. I've been here for 5.5 years, right around as long as I've known you. I mean, as long as you've been here, right?
5 years.
I've known you for, I think I met you my sophomore in
year.
Kines 300 with...
You're that guy who's always asking all those annoying questions.
Was I?
Staying after class, just getting more help. That's how I met you. I just stood after class one time, I'm like, hey, do you need help? Let's.
I remember from that class actually the tug of war kind of
friction.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that was
when we're talking about friction. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was our professor? I forgot.
Robin York.
Yeah, she's still around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was awesome. Anyway, sidetracking off a little there.
So you talked a bit about yourself. I think it's only fair for me to introduce myself too.
So go ahead, Jose. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Jose Juarez. I am from LA, went to school at Jordan High School freshman year, transferred out of there to Southeast High School, city of Southgate. I played baseball for all my childhood, got hurt, started running as a way of rehab, got into cross country, track and field. I came over here to Cal State Fullerton because I've just read up on their kinesiology program online, saw who the faculty were, got a hold of some people here studying. There was a triathlon club at the time, and I got a hold of some of those graduate students who were studying kinesiology, and I just got so involved. I wanted to come here. I wanted to do sports. I wanted to continue, growing as an athlete. 2012, I was part of the cycling team here. We competed. Most recently, I've been part of the jiu-jitsu team here too, and that's another avenue for me to learn more about movement, exercise, fitness, continue growing. The same goes with learning about weightlifting, stuff like that. So that's kind of my background in sports, interest. I'm doing the strength and conditioning track. Like Luis, we're walking this May. Mm-hmm. And then right after I graduate, I go straight to Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Part of
jealous.
Part of an independent study with Dr. Barros here going abroad to a different country, teaching American sports.
It's awesome.
So that's a way for me to start my graduation vacation.
That is awesome.
Working abroad, and that's hopefully what I plan to do in the future too. Yeah. So I think that's kind of enough about ourselves for now. You'll get to know a little bit more about ourselves throughout the episodes. You'll get to see us share more information.
Yeah. Our personality and stuff. We'll do an episode specifically on Jose, another one specifically on myself, and
yeah, we'll have like an episode of like, what kind of hair conditioner to put on.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. That's what this podcast is about. Actually.
Right, yeah. How to look good for salsa.
What to wear and the hot spots in LA and Orange County on Friday, Saturday nights. No, but so what this is about, what is Kines 101, why Kines 101, why did we name it this, and what's basically, where do we plan on heading with this? So first off, let's start with the name, Kines 101. There is no Kines 101. Kinesiology, that's what Kines stands for. 101 class here at Cal State Fullerton.
Right.
For the most part, every introductory course it has a 101 behind its name. Psych 101, Sociology 101, Chem 101, Bio 101, whatever. So we figured, why not call it that? Our Kines 101 here is Kines 202.
Right.
So again, we don't have that, so we kind of decided to name it that. We met each other here. We were inspired by so many professors here. We wanted to kind of keep it relevant to kind of what gave us the drive and the adrenaline rush to start this podcast.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of reflects back on the name.
And then as far as just doing the podcast, I mean, we've started listening to several podcasts ourselves just because when we're not in the classroom, we're still learning, from other people on different channels. Barber Shrug is a big inspiration for this podcast too.
Definitely. Give some credit to those guys.
So partly because we learn about their way of teaching, their coaching, and then they have a podcast through, channel all that information. We're doing the same thing, but it's more academic based. We have alumni, students, current students, previous students.
Athletes, everything.
Athletes, people who are well-rounded in the field of kinesiology. It's a very broad program here on campus. There's no one direction with kinesiology. We're known for strength and conditioning. We have a motor learning program here, psychology, athletic training, coaching, I would say, and even people who... Health
promotion. We have almost everything. Clinical exercise science. Everything you could possibly think of.
Yeah, and then we haven't even talked about research, right?
Yeah,
we're doing tons of work with the research here, too. And that's just undergraduate level. Once we talk about graduate level, it's more intense.
We'd have to start another podcast for that. That's how great it is.
Yeah. So fortunately, we will have some graduate students, join us on a few episodes here. But that's I would say the types of people we're gonna have on this episode this semester. Hopefully, we can continue throughout the semester after. Generally, that's who we're gonna have. But who is our audience, you would say?
So I think our audience, to kind of start off, we're gonna be tailoring this more towards kinesiology majors. So if you're a freshman or you're a sophomore or you're still undeclared and you're a junior or whatever it is,
or a high school student already looking to,
or a high school student thinking about
Cal State Long Beach, Cal State Fullerton,
where do I go? So we would like to, like I said, we're graduating in May. We've been so long, 5.5 years, almost 6.
That's the norm. I don't feel bad.
Yeah. So I think we have a lot to offer. Personally, we have a lot to offer, as well as all our colleagues. We all have, for the most part, little kind of twists to our major that we can kind of pinpoint and give advice to for the upcoming freshmen, sophomores, or people who are undeclared thinking about the program. So we're going to be targeting that audience and just the major in general. So we're going to be have hopefully some episodes where an expert in some kind of field talks about whatever they're doing or their work or their research or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But to start off, I think we want to introduce the major, because I think kinesiology is a subject that's not very known. Like when I tell people, ask me, what's your major? It's kinesiology.
Right.
Can you say what? It's like kinesiology, exercise science, in other words.
Right.
So kind of talk about this major, what we're passionate about, which is why we're doing this podcast. We love this major, and just kind of give advice, as much advice as we can.
Yeah. So kinesiology, I don't think it's available at the UC system.
Yeah.
It's a Cal State system sort of program, and Cal State Fullerton, without a doubt, has one of the best, if not the best, program here in the West. We're the strength center of the West.
Yeah.
To be exact. So we have such a good program. Our faculty are doing a lot of work, research. Opportunities are becoming more and more abundant, and I feel that it's only our duty as students leaving the campus to leave a big impact behind, leave something that students coming in the next generation, they could, get from, learn, and really apply and be more successful here in their next 5.5 years. It's however long it takes. So that's why we really want to, do this podcast. There's a lot of motivation, a lot of drive behind this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really busy semester, but even then, I feel like we're still hungry to leave a legacy behind.
Definitely, and I think this is something that I wish. I know this is something that I wish the school or somebody would have done for me when I was an upcoming student at this campus. I mean, if somebody would have was so passionate about this field, or maybe not so passionate, but just kind of did a podcast like this, I think I would have benefited a lot. I would have done so many different things. Coming in as a freshman and eventually declaring a major as a Kinesiology major.
Yeah. So that's not to say that there isn't a lot of resources, help, advising available here. There is advising, especially for our major, our program. But this is just coming from the students themselves.
Yeah. And I don't want to say we're gonna compete or replace any kind of resources Council Fullerton offers in general, not just our major. But it's just like an extra kind of resource that people can tune into and use to kind of guide themselves, again, if you're thinking about the major or if you just want to learn more about it, because we do plan on having some, hopefully some experts in the field talk about what they're doing.
Yeah, so a lot of them are going to be students, probably people sitting next to you in class, people who you wouldn't know that information from them otherwise. So, and these are people that for the most part we know, we were comfortable with. They have a strong story to share. A lot of experience in the classroom, outside of the classroom. They're applying a lot of the concepts they're learning in the text, and they're putting themselves out there, doing a lot of good things for the program, spreading the name Kinesiology from Cal State Fullerton.
Definitely.
So we're bringing him here. With that in mind, though, I mean, feel free to give us insights as to who you would want to have on a future episode, whether it's faculty or starting group here on campus. We want to get feedback from the students too.
Definitely. And if you yourself feel like you can provide to this podcast and kind of would like to have a show or episode dedicated to you, we'll have our information, contact info, where you can reach out to us and we'll get in contact that way and hopefully set up an episode with one of you.
Yeah, so we're going to be found, or we're going to actually be uploading the podcast episodes on YouTube because, well, unfortunately, we don't have the funding to go all out, iTunes, Stitcher. So we'll base it off YouTube first, see how it comes off. It's free audio uploads anyways. So we'll do that, and then we'll have Instagram and Facebook as our main social media sites. Instagram, I mean, we'll put up some pictures of what you and I are doing as far as the podcast work, the guests coming up, who we're going to have in the next episodes, pictures leading up to the next show. And the same with Facebook. You'll see a lot of posts there. Very
similar. I mean, for the most part, everything we post on Instagram, we'll post on Facebook.
Yeah, so there's going to be tons of content, hopefully, these next few weeks. And we just hope for you to really just take in what you find interesting. You don't have to, listen to everything that we post up. Some information, some episodes, some of the guests are going to talk specifically about some things. If that's something you're interested in, hey, tune in, share it with a friend, share it to somebody who you think might gain a lot from it. But yeah, just tune into what you want to hear, basically, because it's going to go different directions.
Definitely.
It's just like an advance, just so you know, we're going to take this to the next level. So, I think that's where we're at right now.
For the most part, yeah. As far as social media and where you can find us, like I said, we're gonna have our social media on Facebook, Instagram, but everything's gonna be at info kines101@gmail.com for the most part. Again, we'll have a link in the bottom where you can go to our Facebook, Instagram page. So just keep in contact with us. Stay tuned. We have a lot of things in store for us. And we plan on making this pretty big.
Yeah. So anything, including this episode, I mean, feedback, suggestions, any recommendations for how we can improve the episode, the show, the podcast, the future guests, faculty, anything that you feel we are missing or can, benefit from, just make sure to email us, contact us, and we'll get to it.
Definitely. And remember, we're just doing this for fun. We're not getting funded.
No, I'm actually getting paid.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, are you keeping that away from me, or are you like, are we still a team? Can I trust you?
No, this is not no paid job, internship. You would think so. But no, this is just voluntarily, I think.
Yeah.
We're just doing this because we have the drive to do it.
Yeah, we're passionate about our subject. I mean, I don't know of any other subject on campus or any other major is what I meant to say is doing something like this. We're very passionate about our major, and I'm proud to say I'm a kinesiology major from Cal State Fullerton, and I want to show it. I want to show all my experience and what I've learned, and I want to kind of show it off to the world and have people learn from it, pick some things up, and go from there for the most part. So we're doing this for fun because we love it. Hopefully, we have enough people supporting us and we can get a little fancy and throw a few episodes on iTunes and whatnot. But for now, like Jose said, we're going to keep it basic and do YouTube and then go from there.
Yeah, and every episode we do with Cal State Fullerton Kinesiology, Fullerton Strength, Weightlifting Club shirts on.
Yeah.
So that's how excited we are to be doing these episodes with different types of guests.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think that about does it for the introduction episode. Yeah, this is just a very quick introduction to the podcast, what you can expect. Hopefully, we start launching every episode on hopefully Wednesdays or Thursdays. We're
still debating on what it's going to be, but expect about one a week to start off, and then we kind of steer from there, depending on how the audience is kind of taking the information.
Yeah, so we'll see how we go about the day we upload the episodes, but we want some anticipation, something leading up to the next one and the following.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I mean, just follow us, support us, spread the word. This is coming from students, made by students, for the students. We're not getting any sort of funding for this. We're not reaching out to, people of higher position to fund this for us or to give us the resources. The equipment, the programs, the editing, the picture editing, the time that we're putting into this is all us just paying back to the program that we love and respect and
definitely
are appreciative for. So, yeah, support us any way you can and just spread the word.
I think that's pretty much wraps it up.
Yep.
We're going to close this one in, and again, expect a lot to come in the near future.
Thanks again, you guys.